And you seriously going to leave that?
That's who's on the show, Val Quinn. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
I wanted you to remind you.
Yeah. You're recording already,
Yeah,
aren't
of
you?
course I am.
Okay, good on you.
I wanted to remind you how important Val is to this show.
Val, he did a good job.
Did a great job.
Great job. Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah.
What did you say in a previous? We were recording the EV show, and you're like the original bloke or something.
Yeah. The
Two
original
blokes,
bloke.
you're the original
bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
the founding bloke.
honestly,
Co-founding bloke.
I think he's a bit upset. I think you're
Val's
upset that it
upset
went.
with me.
No, you. I think you're a bit upset that it went so well.
Not at all. I never
Do you want me
even
to- do you want me
listened
to change
it.
it?
I never
Do you want me
listened
to change
it. Yeah, well,
I'll change it.
it'd be appropriate if it was had my name on it.
Oh.
But I think I said this to you in a previous show where I don't listen to the shows that I'm on, let alone someone else.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm on them. I don't have to hear them.
For the record, Val, I'm not deleting it. I'm leaving options
Yeah.
open. I
Yeah.
might create a Val Quinn here. So
Just for the
that
record.
will require
Just for the
someone else. That
record.
will require someone else to come and do all this shit.
Yeah, just for the record, if you ever want to take a break, we can always, invite Val back, to take your spot.
I
if you
think we
want.
probably wouldn't do a video show, but I think we could manage some audio shows
Val's
without me.
Val's got cameras at his office, mate. We'll just move it to his
Yeah,
office.
I think
you know?
we
I got a
we
camera.
took advantage of him in a big way already. So
Shout out to Val. Good on you, mate.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you for filling in.
More importantly,
Yeah,
what about this, mate?
that is amazing.
That is an unbelievable gift. I'm genuinely appreciative. That's unbelievable.
You deserve it, mate, and
great
then
man.
some. You
Look at that.
did a great job looking after Tech Guide for me, and
so good.
that
Oscar's
is-
first win.
Yeah,
signed by the great man.
and
Very excited.
authentic too. That's real.
Unbelievable.
That is the least I could have done for
But
you.
I
mate.
do forget how to do all this. I'll be honest. I've been
Really?
thrown asunder because a lot of inside baseball. Like with Josh, we did like 2 or 3 shows at a time, so
Yeah.
he didn't have to come up here too much.
Yes.
Val, we were on and off.
Yep.
Because we were travelling or whatever.
Yep.
And I was also thrown asunder because I'd completely ripped this apart to tidy it up and rewire it and kind of make it all nice. And then some new products have come across my desk which have made me unplug it and replug it. And so I'm just all out of whack.
Yeah.
This may not even work.
It's like solving a Rubik's Cube, isn't it, every day?
Well, hopefully it gets easier. That's all I'm
Yeah.
hoping.
Well, it should do, mate. The more you do it, the easier it gets, I hear.
That's the plan.
Yeah. We've done 651 times we've done this, so.
Do you feel settled back?
Is it still? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. It's second week back, and it was good that I just got straight back into the rhythm again. Just got back to writing and doing everything. I recorded my first live Tech Guide podcast this week. Last week I had one in the can, so that when I got back I didn't have to record one the
First
day after.
day,
Yeah. So that was pretty good. But yeah, it's back in the flow. And Jo's gone back to work too now. She had last week off as well, so she had a week off after we came home.
Yeah.
And she's gone
You
back
forced
to
her
work.
back to work.
No,
Unbelievable.
No, I haven't forced her back
You've
to work.
forced her back to work.
And
he's
well,
like,
but hang on.
that cruise was bloody expensive. Go back to work, woman.
Yeah. And anyway, she's back and she's got to work this week and next week, and then she's on school holidays again. So hello,
that'll do me.
You know, it's pretty good. Good deal. My next holiday's in like 14 years. That's my next holiday.
Jackson has 1 week of school left, and then it's holidays and it's exams.
Yeah, wow.
Isn't that
So
wild?
it's what we used to call that STUVAC, study vacation, where you're not going to school, you just study before the exams start.
Oh, right. Is that what? Okay.
Yeah, so he's
Like
not going to school, is he?
term.
He's not going to school.
No.
He's just studying till the exams.
Yeah.
We called that back when I was doing the HSC.
Was it called the
many
HSC
years
back
ago.
then?
It was called the HSC back then.
Wasn't it called fifth form or something?
No, it wasn't. It was year 12.
Yeah.
But it was, STUVAC is what
I
we
have
called
heard
it.
that term before.
Student
Yeah.
vacation.
Right.
At the Catholic private school that I went to, that's what we called it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll see.
Did
if
he have a
actually
muck-up
doesn't.
day? Is he going to have a muck-up day?
Do you do that after the HSC? Or
You do it before the HSC.
Really?
When you finish school, before you do the exams and you start STUVAC,
I can't
that's muck-up day.
Knowing his school, I doubt it.
Really?
It doesn't.
We had one. We did.
It requires. Here's what it requires. It requires a lot of collaboration amongst the students, and it's a very.
Really?
It's a lot of individuals.
mates? Really?
No, it's a very individualist school.
Mate, that's one.
Yeah.
Did you did the HSC, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Allegedly.
I did. Came top 1 to 2% in the state in maths
There you go.
in society.
Yeah. So you never did a muck up day, did you?
We did. Yeah, we had a muck up day at Warwick High School. I remember some people throwing toilet paper and stuff, and
we had a big one.
I didn't really get involved in the muck up part. I remember kind of walking around the streets and watching people do stuff.
Yeah.
And that was when, so it was 1993 was my last year, and so it would be later in the year, obviously muck up day, and then I think there was an assembly the next day or a few days after, to wrap up the year. And for some reason or somehow, I got up on stage, grabbed the microphone, and called everyone a pack of arseholes. Just like Jim Richards did at Bathurst the year before.
Did everyone get the joke?
No. I said, in the words of Jim Richards, you're all a pack of arseholes. And
that would have got you cancelled today,
mate. It
mate.
felt great.
Yeah. Now, we had our muck up day down at Maroubra Beach.
Yeah,
so
right.
what, like traditional
Bra boys getting down there.
Yeah, muck up days normally is you sort of causing havoc in the streets. We thought we don't want to do that. We're just going to be out
Cause
there
havoc
together.
at the beach.
We a few of the guys were on the drink, and funny enough, another school turned up, and it was on.
Stacks on.
It was on. It was like
Really?
a big fruit fight we had with them. Yeah, yeah, it was
Fruit
funny.
fight.
Yeah, it was like us. So I went to Maris Pagewood, and then it was South Sydney High turned up on the beach too, because they were just down the road from us.
Yeah.
And it just
Which
turned
school did
into
the Bra Boys go to?
I don't know. Many schools, probably
really?
Maroubra Beach Public School. I think there was there used to be a high school right near the near the beach.
Right.
Yeah, high school. That's now.
You had a fruit fight.
Yeah, among other things, there was a few guys on the drink and some funny photos.
And then you grew up and started having Mad Mondays.
Yeah,
you big
it
child.
was kind of like the school version of Mad Monday. That's right. Yeah, no, Mad Monday. Unfortunately, Souths had their Mad Monday a
long time ago.
Yeah, a lot sooner than other teams.
It's been months since Souths have been involved in the NRL.
Yeah, it's a little while.
We've got this Saturday night. We're inviting the Outlaws around because their Amanda's dad and brother are Manly fans.
Giddy up.
And Jacko's a Roosters fan. So I said 100-inch Hisense TV on the wall. Let's pump this puppy and let's have some people around and see Jackson get smashed probably.
You never know. The Roosters could do anything. One thing I've got to say, the semi-finals have been amazing games. Every game is high, origin intensity. It's been really good to watch.
Just like the Azerbaijan Grand Prix when Oscar Piastri took his second win.
Man, Oscar.
One of the greatest Formula One races of all time.
Yeah.
Not elaborate in overtakes and things, but Oscar Piastri was less than 1 second ahead of Charles Leclerc for almost the entire race once he took the lead. And that's a hard thing to do. Yeah. It's a hard thing not to be able to break away and to not be passed at a track like that. And he kept having just enough gap. Yeah. It was brilliant. He really drove well.
Didn't hurt the second last lap. There was that bingle, isn't it? 2 cars.
That was all behind them, that was behind them. That wouldn't affect him at all.
No. Change anything? Okay.
But you know what? I reckon Oscar Piastri won a lot of respect in the F1 industry as a driver. That was a unbelievable drive. Kind of drive where you could mentally do something wrong, a little clip a wall or whatever. He did not. He did not put a foot wrong.
Where was it? Azerbaijan.
Yeah. I've just realised, date-wise, I've just got this really nervous feeling.
About what date? What are you talking about?
Well, remember we talked about going to a Formula One?
Yes.
And I've just thought about...
In November.
Oh, no, it's 10 days after we're in the US next.
Oh, I could extend.
Because we
Happy to extend. I'll stay there.
We've talked about going to the US in mid-November, and I just thought, imagine if for that weekend. It's not. So,
So it's 10 days later.
Yeah, it's 24th.
Week and a half later.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch. That won't be happening for me.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Anyway, it's all good.
We'll see. I'm open to offers.
You always are open to offers. Anyway, for some reason, we gathered here to do this.
Welcome to Two Blokes Talking Tech
Not a bad price.
with Trevor Long from EFTM.com
Really handy device.
and Stephen Fennick from techguide.com.au.
Episode 651 and
651.
techguide.com.au. Stephen Fennick is back in the studio, and we're here thanks to Netgear and Arlo. Stephen, does it feel okay to be back? Are you okay?
It's like I never left, mate.
But you had to get your passport out again.
Yeah. I was used to that. That's fine.
Got your audiobook streaming in the car.
I had my passport out for the whole 6 weeks. It's funny, you travel around Europe, and I was told, take your passport. Not once did I have to show it.
Yeah.
In the 6 weeks, because you're in Europe, it's like being in one country. You're crossing borders. They think it's like a domestic flight, like when you fly between countries or go between countries in a car or on a train or anything. So The
I'll
only
tell you-
passport I had to get out was today.
I'll tell you quickly on passports. Flying into Berlin or Jakarta. Might have been both. The computer systems for scan your passport.
Uh-oh.
Unbelievable. Fast,
Oh,
quick,
yeah, good.
done.
Okay.
Because Sydney is horrible on the way back in.
When we went to Paris with
Yeah.
Samsung, that was fast too. We
Yeah,
were through
going
there
in there
Yeah,
or coming back.
going in.
Yeah.
Remember that? We were through in like a minute.
Yeah. Honestly, Sydney needs to work on its
Oh, yeah.
arrivals procedures.
Yes.
It's horrible.
Most certainly. Do you remember that? Do you remember the time we arrived back? Where were we? Come back from the US together, weren't we? Where were we?
Yeah.
Remember, it was absolute pandemonium. No, we come back from Paris. We went back from
around
Paris.
the outside, yeah.
And we went down the end.
Yeah.
And just took a punt that everyone thinks the first ones they see,
Yeah.
and no one thinks that there's one at the end. And
Yeah,
there
but
was
you're not
hardly
meant to.
anyone.
They're stopping you from going down there now as best they can.
What?
Yeah, well, because you're meant to have done it beforehand.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a whole other thing. We'll tell you more about Netgear and Arlo shortly. But, Stephen, this week has been a big week for Instagram and social media generally. Obviously, the debate rages on about banning social media and all that kind of stuff. But Instagram made a very big announcement this week in which it basically, let's be clear, I've said many times over this debate, there are some awesome parental controls built into Instagram if you choose to turn them on. But I think a lot of people don't. And I think Instagram knows that. And so they've decided to create what they call a teen account setting, which is a brutal set of restrictions. It's basically turn up the notch on all the restrictions.
Yeah.
And
Isn't it a private account, basically? A private account?
It's a private account.
Yeah.
It's less. It's more restricted on what content you see. It enforces time limit notifications. It enforces automatic sleep mode, so you don't get pop up notifications. It has some filtering of content. It means you can't be tagged and those kind of things.
Yeah.
But most importantly, they are converting existing teenagers to this account. This is not a hi, why don't you click this button? No, as of today, when you sign up to a new account, you'll become a teen straight away if you're a teenager.
Yep.
And my daughter, for example, 14 years old, her account will be converted to a teen account within the next couple of weeks, 60 days. Now, for her, I don't believe it'll make any difference because she's already private. We already have a bunch of restrictions. I'm already set as
So
her
that was
parent.
something you put on.
Yeah, we said when you get Instagram, it's linked to my account. I'm listed as your parent.
Yep.
You have to be private. You can't message random people. You have to accept friends, only people you know. A bunch of rules.
Yeah.
But, telling a non-digital savvy parent to do that is tough, and I get that.
Yeah.
So this essentially forces that upon them. Now, if you're under 16 and you want to change any of those settings, so let's say you've decided you're going to be, influencer, and you all agree on that, you're going to go public.
Yep.
You can't do that unless you've linked a parent account firstly. So there has to be a parent account linked to you, and the parent has to approve those changes.
Yeah.
So it forces it upon the parent.
Yeah.
I spoke to Adam Mosseri, the boss of Instagram, in a small briefing on this, and I kind of indicated this felt like an opt-out situation and it forces this stuff. He didn't use any of that language. He kind of turned it around as being more supportive and encouraging of parents. But in reality, this is forcing parental controls upon parents.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of it.
I get that feeling that it wasn't something. Well, you had no choice in the matter. It was that
That's right.
or nothing. So, but I think though you say forced on the parent. The parent in most cases, I think, would be appreciative of that. There's this little peace of mind for them now.
100%.
A little bit of control.
Well, they don't. The non-digital savvy
But
parent.
not everyone's like you.
No, that's what I'm saying. The
Right.
non-digital savvy parent doesn't know how to do these things.
Exactly, yeah.
So they're
There you go.
appreciative of the fact that Instagram's gone, here it is.
Yep.
Now, what it does, I've said a million times, the most important thing in digital parenting is conversations.
Yeah.
And what it does is it means that your child has to ask you to link their accounts, has to ask you to do things and change things, and that's great.
Now, I think in my mind, this is going to achieve a little bit more privacy and protection for a younger user.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be exposed to less content that might be inappropriate. But also, too, the fact that other people haven't Messenger got a similar setup where if you don't know them, not friends with them, they can't message you.
Messenger Kids is built that way, yes.
So there is this similar framework that exists there in Messenger. So this is, I think, going to give parents that peace of mind, but it's still a long way from what the government wants to achieve about it. We don't want any social media.
And
rather than sort of tempered social media, which was what Instagram's presenting here.
Instagram were a little bit too brutal in my mind in briefing the couple of journalists that I was with about how we present this in terms of, don't link this to the government thing. It's nothing to do with that. I'll be very disappointed. I'm like, I'll be linking it however I want to. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But what they meant was they don't want it perceived that they built this because of the government.
Yeah, I understand.
Again, Adam Mosseri said, listen, we've been working on this for a year. This sort of stuff doesn't happen quickly. We iterated, we changed, we had plans. It's changed.
Yeah.
But he did say things like, and I'm paraphrasing, he said things like the Australian debate is the most robust in the world to a point like where it's beyond appropriate. Like it's a bit insane. He didn't use those words.
Yeah.
He also said that, there's a little bit too much politics involved.
Yeah.
He doesn't mind vested interest, but he worries about the politics of these kind of changes.
Does he acknowledge the fact that what the government's trying to achieve here is the age limit, which who knows what the age is going to be, right? Who's right, who's wrong there.
Yeah.
But does it? I think for the minority of users who have effects of being on social media, they have self-image problems and suicide or whatever, bullying and all those sorts of things. Does he acknowledge that that's kind of what the government's trying to achieve?
He doesn't.
He's called it political.
He doesn't say that, but when he talks about political, he talks about how robust people are about it. Like if you want to have a conversation with Instagram about this, have a conversation. Like it's all good. They'll talk about it. But in the end, the thing that stuck with me was this. At the moment, this is all based around the date of birth someone types in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're doing, right?
You can't enforce it, can you?
And they are going to be able to detect people that change the date of birth to be an adult age, and they'll stop that.
Yeah.
But in the next year, they believe they have the technology to implement a detection of teens.
Okay.
So no matter what the age, they'll be able to detect that you're a teen.
How do they do that?
But just a teen. Oh, look, think about it. You think about the language used, the type of content, the people you follow. It'd be it wouldn't be too hard to.
It'd have a good idea.
It wouldn't be too hard to
are.
narrow them down, right?
Yeah.
But he said, and this again stuck with me. He said, I would challenge to give you 50 accounts, and for you to work out which ones are 15 and which ones are 16.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And good luck.
Yeah.
And he said, trying to do that at scale is near on impossible.
Yeah.
And that to me was a shot across the bow, but not directly at the government, but it was a shot across the bow of these ideas of age verification systems. It's all well and good that someone's getting the government contract to test it out, but mate, I go to Harry's baseball, and now they play baseball in age groups, right? Yeah. And I look at these kids and go, this kid's a giant. This kid's tiny. He looks 11. He's 14. This kid looks 17. He's 12. Yeah. Kids look different because they hit puberty at different ages. They're different bone structures. They have different parents. But kids don't look their age.
They
always
develop differently, not only physically but mentally too.
Yes.
Everyone's different. So
you can have, mate, there are 25-year-olds that act like teenagers and would communicate like teenagers, would post like teenagers. They're going to get caught out in this when it rolls out that way. But Adam, Instagram boss basically said, mate, it's hard. And I don't know how they think they're going to do it.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Like, do you think that what Instagram's put in place here is enough for the government to maybe follow a similar path? Or the government wants to go deeper?
The government wants to go deep because they want to look like it's a pissing contest. They want to look like they were the big guys and they got this done.
So you don't reckon if the government said to Meta, Instagram, Facebook and everyone, okay, see what Instagram's done now, you need to do that as well, that's not going to be enough for them? No,
because the problem is it should be enough. I'll be honest, I think it should be enough. This is the right approach because it creates conversation with parents and kids. It's not foolproof. There will be ways around it and Instagram will have to work on that. But, a ban doesn't help. I'm telling you, a ban doesn't help because at 16, they suddenly have social media and they're overwhelmed by it. Plus, at 13, they don't have social media, but they've got Discord and they've got text message and they've got WhatsApp. You don't think they're going to be bullied by WhatsApp? If you disconnected every teenager, 13-year-old, from SMS, you don't think there'd be prank phone calls? You don't think they'd just put letters under their desk? I mean, kids are going to be kids.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You got to deal with the problem, not the communications method.
Especially today where a child grows up with technology. It's not like a child suddenly gets an iPad when they're 14 or an iPhone or anything like that. They're even their education is digital. So their whole world is digital.
New South Wales schools have a mobile phone ban. My kids are text messaging me during school because they got WhatsApp on their laptops. What are you doing?
Is it a token thing? So the government wants to be seen to be doing something?
Yes. And look, I understand that I sound like I'm preaching in a way because I say I've got a 12-year-old. I got a kid. I said to the boss of Instagram, I got a kid that in 2 weeks on his birthday wants Instagram for his birthday. Right. That's how our family works. 13, at 13, that's what he wants.
Well, that's the rule, isn't it?
That's the rule, right?
Yeah.
And I've got a 14-year-old and I've got a 17-year-old, and they're all different. Yeah. And that's what he said. He said every kid is if 2 16-year-olds are not the same.
Yeah, of course.
And the fact is, you've got to force those conversations with parents about it, and that's the only way to solve this problem is to be talking about it more as parents. It's not to turn it off because they'll find something else, mate.
Because I've always said, even back when the talk was, when the internet was fresh, right, where you got to have the computer in a central part of the house and you got to monitor what your kids look at online and all that. Suddenly they've got computers in their pockets and they can do whatever they want. So and back then sort of the focus was on parental control and the parents sort of doing it. Yeah. Is that all that's needed? Like for a parent to how like if your kids are young, if your kids are there, right, you supervise what they're doing, right? Okay? You're making sure they're staying out of trouble. Yep. And I've always said, even back the early internet days where, your parent, you got to supervise your child in real life and online. That's kind of your job. Yeah. So letting them, for the parent who isn't savvy, unlike yourself, who you know what you're doing, but for those parents who don't have that knowledge, they're not as savvy, then is their child going to be the one that slips through the cracks? Or
and you don't think that someone's going to create a new app that's not a social media app, but kids can interact with. Remember when Be Real came out? It was like this, take a photo at one time a day thing. Like people will create new apps that won't be covered by the legislation. And also, here's an interesting one. Adam Mosseri said, and again, he said along the lines of, I don't want to pass off the responsibility here. We accept it. We're taking it. But if Apple and Google would share with us the age, that would be great. Yeah. He said, I can ask, as an app developer, I can ask for your location within 10 feet and like 3 other things he listed, which are pretty big deals, but I can't know your date of birth. Now, what he means by that is on my daughter's phone, because she's now got an iPhone and it's family sharing, it knows her age. Yeah. I put the age in. He said, I put the age in for my 6-year-old's device. Yeah. So it knows how old they are. Why can't Apple share that? Why can't Google share that securely with an app so that they can verify that?
So at the moment, you said you got family sharing, so you approve a lot of stuff that's like the apps.
Yeah, if Phoebe wants a new app, you've got to ask for it.
Say when young Harry gets onto Instagram, when he sets up his account, because you're listed as the parent, you've got to make sure that he's putting the right age in and his date of birth. So you can't fudge that. If there's a parent involved.
That's right.
No parent involved, you can say that you're 20.
So he can put in whatever he wants. But if he puts in 20, that's the problem. You've still got the ability to type whatever you want, but there will come a time where they'll crack down on that as well. Yeah. But look, even if you put 1 year off, 1 year up or down, you're still a teen, right? Yeah. And the parent's not required to set up the account. The kid can set up the account on their own, do their thing, but because they put in a teen date of birth, they will automatically need a parent to make any changes to the restrictions. And that's great. Yeah.
Should that have been the case to begin with?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but also, a kids can, there's a couple of things here. Kids can still type any age, so that's going to be a problem for some time.
So it's a bit of an honour system.
And here's, we've all got criminal minds somewhere built into us, right? So my thing is, okay, I'm a ruckus 14-year-old and I'm sick of these stupid restrictions. I'm going to create a new account. He says that they can monitor new accounts created on the same device and all that kind of stuff. Fine. I get a new phone. I'm going to create a new account. And I'm going to be a teenager, but I'm going to go to, old Billy up there that buys us alcohol because he's 18. I'm going to add him as my parent. Yeah. No, I'm going to add him as my parent.
Oh. Can you do that?
Well,
really?
Yes, because anyone can be your parent on Instagram. Okay. Yeah, You've just got to send a request and verify and click it.
So that's the virtual
No one's
equivalent.
checking a birth certificate.
That's the virtual equivalent of the fake ID so you can buy alcohol.
Yeah, just get old mate to become your digital parent and old mate will turn off the restrictions for you. So, yes, there's ways around it all. Yeah. But and that comes back to if this kid who's doing all that to get around this, if his parents aren't paying attention to notice that, then they're the problem. I'm sorry, they're the problem.
What's going to happen now with other social media platforms? Is Facebook? They've got nothing like this in place, have they, at the moment?
Well, no, they don't because they've just got you're 13 and then you're on.
Yeah. What about other platforms like TikTok? for example? Are they?
Mate,
I know there's the threats in the US to ban them and all that. That sort of comes up
TikTok,
quite often.
again, TikTok has unbelievable parental controls. It's just a matter of will they do what Instagram does and enforce them by default. So, again, Victoria has a screen time limit and certain app restrictions based on the fact that I set them up as her parent. And if she wants no more screen time, here's the thing. I can't even just simply enter it. I've got to go into the app. It's a different passcode every time. I've got to dig into my app, which is bloody hard to find, by the way, find the passcode, which is generated every time she requests it, and then put it in.
So it's like a two-factor authentication.
So she can't know the pass. I can't say it's 2371.
Yeah, right. Changes all the time.
It changes every time.
Smart.
It's very smart.
Yeah, okay.
So I hope they force kids into that. And I hope they see the thing that's unspoken about, we haven't really spoken about, is Instagram's going to restrict the amount of bad content that kids see.
Yeah.
Now, some's going to slip through the cracks. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But they're going to restrict it, and they're going to let kids choose topics, which will allow them to, mold the algorithm. TikTok, again, I believe, has the best algorithm, the best understanding of videos, to the point where I put a video up yesterday where I went, I don't know who this idiot is.
The news.com one?
Mate, it got deleted off TikTok within 2 hours for breaching community guidelines.
Oh.
I'm assuming because I called a bloke an idiot. Naughty. So I re-recorded on TikTok. I didn't change it on Instagram. I re-recorded on TikTok because I thought, I better adhere to the guidelines.
Yeah.
TikTok is so good at determining content that I think they could do a much better job of restricting teen content.
But let's be clear, right? If the social media platforms had their way, the government initiative to ban people from until they're a certain age would never happen. Because isn't it in the platform's best interest to have people on there, right? Yeah. And get the data, again, mold that algorithm.
Look, they want teens there because they become adults at some point.
Exactly. I understand, but strength in numbers. They want people on there. They want them on there. They don't want to. Imagine if there was a cutoff to 14. Imagine how many millions of people less that are going to be on their platforms now, just in Australia.
Yeah.
So I can't see
I don't
them waving them in to do that.
No.
So like Instagram here, I think were maybe showing some initiative to say, well, look, here's what we can impose on ourselves to demonstrate that we've got your child's best interests at heart. Here, they're restricting the type of content. One thing that struck out for me was the, restricting violence and sex, all that sort of stuff, right? But there was also one form of content like cosmetic content, like
cosmetic surgery.
Yeah, so again, that's trying to protect that person, preserve that person's self-image.
You don't need a 14, 15-year-old girl seeing videos of young women getting breast implants. Yeah, because you don't need them to think. You don't need them to think that that's something they need to do.
Yeah. So I think isn't that kind of one of the reasons why the government's going after them now, to preserve that. To make sure that a young child, a vulnerable young child, doesn't see, oh, well, I'm not good enough if I don't have that kind of surgery.
100%.
So isn't that sort of what Instagram kind of giving the government what they want?
I think
in
they
this
are.
instance?
I think they are. I think this is a really good solution. Yeah. It's not foolproof though, and
of course,
but no government solution will be foolproof either.
Well, yeah. How often, right? Back in the day. Again, at the sort of the internet's in its infancy, was the big thing was porn. People can a 12-year-old can look up porn on it, still can today, right? Yeah. And so where has the concern about that gone?
Well, I mean that's a great question. Well, the government's working on age verification. Well, I would prefer
they can't. Yeah.
I'd be okay with this conversation if they were saying for things like social media and adult content.
Boom.
When you log on to a porn site, it says, "Are you 18?"
Yeah, you can click yes or no.
Yeah.
How many 15-year-olds
are going, yeah?
No? Yeah, are you under 18? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. No, I'm not under 18.
Damn.
Mom.
Oh, man.
Dad, can I use your computer?
Just don't check your browser history. But look, we might laugh about it, but we've already seen that you can get around age restrictions.
Yeah.
Right? Suggested age restrictions.
Yes.
So I think the government's got their work cut out for them. Albo's on board. Albo, I think, has sort of risen to this and said, right, this is a really good political football for us.
Yeah.
We're going to be seen to be sort of wanting to protect young people in Australia. He wants to connect with young people in Australia, potential voters, future voters.
Yeah.
Is that Is that the right thing? And who gets to decide the age as well?
Yeah.
Because I think he jumped in and said, look, we can't have 7 different things. We need to have one. So I remember South Australia was first to suggest it. What were they suggesting?
16.
16, which is what 16. You can almost can you get your L's when you're 16? No, 17.
Yes,
you get
16.
L's.
You get your L's.
You can drive when you're 16, but you can't be on social
You
media.
can only
till
just
16.
get on social. Yeah, it's stupid.
Like it's who decides that? It's like deciding what's the right age to buy your first phone. Who decides that? It's multiple factors to decide that. So good luck. I think Instagram. Good on them for making this mandatory. Mandatory, not an opt-in. It's mandatory now.
I applaud them. Yeah.
Which is and one other question: how do you decide? Is it? Did I read it right? Where you can only spend 60 minutes a day or 60 minutes at a time on it?
Well, no. After 60 minutes, it starts saying to you, "Hey, you might want to give it
so
up."
It doesn't
now.
just shut down.
No,
you can just say.
But a parent can impose time. Like a parent can say between 12 a.m. midnight and 4 p.m. no Instagram.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So none before school, no one at school.
That was existed before today.
Yes, all these things, mate. There is nothing new.
Yeah, that's what
it's
I was
just
gonna say,
lumping them together, turning the dial up, and going, "This is a teen account now."
Yeah,
and I think it's great.
Teen account, but what about if you're last question? What about if you're 19?
Then okay, so
then
if you're 16, 17, 18 or 19, so Jackson is 17, and I am listed as his parent on Instagram, when he gets these restrictions, I don't think it'll change much for him because his standard account is private. He has a public, what's called his JPEG account, which is just photos he shares, like photography. So his standard account is private, so it actually won't change anything. But again, so with 16 plus, if you get deemed to be a teen account and you do not have a parent listed, you can make the changes you need. Yeah. If you're deemed to be a teen and you're 16 plus and you do have a parent listed, the parent can wind those changes back.
The parent can say, okay, business as usual.
You don't have to
be you can have them like an adult
just
account.
like they can for a 12-year-old, 13-year-old. They can wind it back to them as well.
Make it like it's normal.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
They can, but if you're 19, but today
if you're 19
it's going to revert
with no parent listed, you'll become a teen account real quick.
Yep.
But you can turn it off yourself pretty quick.
Right. If you haven't got a parent listed.
Correct.
Okay. There you go.
I don't know which one of our phones is just going nuts here, but anyway.
It'd be yours, mate.
No. Why would that be?
It'd be yours. You got about 15 of them beside you there. I've only got one.
I want to know what that was. It's really annoying. Anyway.
That sounded like a Find My, didn't it? Is that a Find My? Someone's trying to track you, mate. You're being tracked. You're being tracked.
Two Blokes Talking Tech.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
If you're looking for whole home Wi-Fi, and we continue to get these calls from people who have got great internet, but they don't have the best Wi-Fi, it's because you don't have a great Wi-Fi system. You need a Wi-Fi system. Mesh Wi-Fi system is going to solve your problems. And a whole home mesh system means no more dead zones, no drop connections or buffering. Cover every square metre of your home with smooth, reliable, best-in-class Wi-Fi. That's what you get with Netgear. If you go to netgear.com.au, you can take their Wi-Fi quiz, which is basically a few questions about what you need, what speed you need, how many devices you need, and it'll hook you up with the best product for you. And, of course, you can buy directly from Netgear right there at netgear.com.au. For whole home Wi-Fi, to give you the best for the internet that you've got, check out Netgear, netgear.com.au.
Everything about tech you never wanted to know. This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
I had to work out which phone to go to because I have installed the new Arlo Secure 5.
Yep.
And it's awesome. So this is a brand new set of features for the Arlo subscription plan. Now, Arlo cameras, you don't need a new camera for this. This is just on the Arlo Secure plan. But here's the thing. The price has not gone up. These are new features. Price has not gone up. In fact,
they've gone down a little bit.
I was paying $200 a year.
Yeah.
I'm now paying $180.
$179.91.
I mean, it's unbelievable for an unlimited camera plan. So, I will be very clear with our wonderful audience. If you're already on the Secure Plus plan, the new plan is called Secure Plus. You still need to change to the new plan. Yes. I got a bit confused by that.
Yep.
But once you do it,
upgrade,
you get smart detection, person recognition, and vehicle recognition. I got to tell you, it works good.
Yeah.
So I already have 7 people recognised in our home.
Yep.
Amanda, Jackson's girlfriend, Harrison, Jackson, one of Harry's mates, me, and Victoria. We're all recognised.
Jackson's girlfriend in there too?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's been to the house enough that she's recognised just over the weekend. There's Amanda. Every time she's come in, some pretty unattractive photos there coming up because they're
Cut that bit out, mate.
they're as you walk in, these ones and all that kind of stuff. And there's some beautiful ones there too, just beautiful. Let me bring up mine.
Nice save, mate. Nice save.
Look at these. Look at this. That looks like a mug shot.
Mate,
Look at that last. Look at that one.
Looks like it's out of police lineup. That one.
So basically now, what happens is up until now you've been able to get person detection and vehicle detection, but now you are recognising those things.
So detection is different to recognition.
Yeah, I would have changed the name. I would have called it face recognition if I was them. That would have been a bit better. But it's the same as person detection. Anyway, so person detection tells you, which we've had, is it a vehicle, a person, an animal, a package, or just motion, right? Yep. But now you're basically narrowing it down. So what I can now do is when I get a notification on my Arlo, I can glance down and it goes, Jackson at front door. I'm like, I don't need to worry about that. It's good.
Yeah,
He's
good.
He's good.
Or like I use the example of the parent thinking, you get a notification that your son or daughter's home at 3:30, they're home from school.
Yeah.
It's not just a random person. It's their name comes up on the screen.
But it's the same with vehicles. It's like we have 3 recognised vehicles in our home and it knows what they look like. And so I can get a note that says, Kevin, the Kia, in the driveway.
Say Kevin's in the driveway. You named
Kevin.
it.
Yeah, that's Kev. That's Kev.
Kev the Kia, yeah.
Kevin, Kevin.
Oh, love it. Nice.
That's Rigby's name too. He came up with that, so give him full credit.
Yeah.
And so it recognises different cars.
Yep.
So again, now I haven't dug deep enough, and I'm going to say I don't think it's possible yet, but I'm going to ask that it becomes possible.
Yep.
What I want to do is I want to say, don't notify me when it's the people I know.
Yeah.
I actually don't want to know that Jackson, Amanda, Harry. I'm fine.
They live there.
They're home. We've got other alerts that tell us they're home.
Yes.
I want this to, because right now you get, if you turn a camera on for the first time, you set it up, you get 1 million alerts of motion because trees wave. Then you get Arlo secure. You go, okay, so I don't get all the trees waving. I get just people, vehicles, animals. So I don't want animals. I don't want motion. I just want people.
Yep.
No vehicles, no nothing. So I just get people. That's a good narrowing down of your notifications.
Yeah, you can do that.
I want to go even further. I want to say, okay, so now of all the people ones, only give me unrecognised people.
Yeah. You can't do that?
I haven't found it yet. I haven't dug deeply because I wanted to.
That seems logical, yeah.
I wanted to establish the database first. Yeah. So I had a quick look. I couldn't see it, but I want to establish the database first because that means all I'm ever going to get are notifications of unidentified people at my door.
Of course. And what about you mentioned people detection, the vehicle detection. What are the custom notifications?
Pretty cool.
I reckon this is going to be, there's going to be some pretty good ideas that people come up with about this. And how this works is that you can, for example, set up a scenario where you want to be notified if certain things happen. Like, for example, you leave the garage door open, or your pet is sitting on the couch, or the water bowl's empty, or all these little scenarios where if that happens, I want to know this.
So you need to show it a photo of the garage door open and closed, and then it will give you an alert based on your preferences to say garage door's open. Yeah. Here's the one I've come up with. We've got a camera in the backyard pointing at the house and the clothesline. Yeah. I want to know from 3 p.m. till 5 p.m. I want to get alerts. Are there clothes on the line?
Yeah, good idea.
Get home, take the clothes off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that means Amanda's put the clothes out in the morning. I should take them off in the afternoon. She's going to be happy with me because I've done some chores.
Smart.
That's easy.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, I'm going to set up the back camera to let me know whenever Logan's at the
Is Logan sitting in his bed or not?
If he's in his bed, or when he's standing at the back door. Like if I'm inside and I get a notification that he's standing at the back door, I can then go and open the door for him. So rather than me having to listen to him tapping on the window or barking, I can get that notification as well.
Yeah. So it's in beta at the moment because they obviously want to test it in a million ways. And look, it may not be 100% perfect day one here, but it's a very cool iteration of this detection strategy.
The whole collection of features, there's nothing else like it in the market. Like all these little features are for industry firsts.
Yes, there are plenty of cameras that will tell you whether there's a person or a car. Yeah. But will they tell you which person? I do remember having a Netatmo welcome camera, I think it was, that recognised faces. Yeah. This is 8 years ago.
Yeah.
That recognised faces. And I said this to Lambro from Arlo when he came to talk to me about this. I remember Patrick Lowe talking about this in the early days when Netgear bought Arlo.
Yeah.
He talked about how imagine if you could recognise, like, this has been the vision, but they've had to wait for the compute power, the cloud,
and AI,
the benefits
Machine
of it,
learning.
the smarts. They've had to make sure it's right because you can roll this out.
Yeah.
But if it's not good, so interestingly, early days, I was getting Victoria alerts. Victoria walking past the door would alert Jackson. And so what it took was for me to go in and go, okay, I've now got more pictures of them.
Yep.
So now let's isolate, take all the Victorias, put them in Victoria, take all the Jackson. So it's learnt more.
Okay.
So the more it sees,
Yeah.
the more it learns.
Yeah. And so it's like the customer notification too. It learns that scenario.
Correct.
And improves over time,
Yeah.
which is what you want
Yeah.
with your security system.
And see, other cameras can't do that. Other cameras just say, there's a person there.
Yeah, person detected. There
Person's not good enough.
Go. You want to know their name and their address.
Yeah, hang on, there's a person detected at my doorbell. I want to know who it is.
Uh-oh.
What's going on here?
Uh-oh.
Some rando's just come to my door. Anyway, but see, it's Jackson, but he's got his back to the camera.
Oh, sneaky.
Yes,
Is he sneaking
he's
someone in?
walking out.
Mate?
Let's see. Let's see what happens when
Sneaky.
he walks.
That's
back
why I
in.
asked if you've got his girlfriend there too. So
He's
No.
also worked out if you walk really fast, you probably can't work out who you are.
yeah, sprint through that thing.
It's a good feature. I love it.
Yeah.
My favourite thing here is twofold. Firstly, this works on existing Arlo cameras. This is not a new product to
Correct.
buy.
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Secondly, they're not charging more for it.
No. It's
brilliant.
You get more for less,
And
which
look,
is awesome.
the strategy there, I
and you don't have to
assume,
buy
is
new cameras, which you said. which is
strategy
good.
there is, look,
Yeah.
we want more subscribers.
Yeah.
So we want to make the offer more compelling.
Well, it's all
brilliant.
about, the cameras are excellent, but this makes them better.
Yeah.
Makes them smarter.
It's like, what do you say about an electric Tesla?
The day you get it is the worst it is. It improves over time. Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Could have sounded
But
better.
I'm just thinking that this is for those parents who want to know when their child comes home and leaves. And, I remember back in the day, back when I was a youngster, before any of this technology, my dad would say, "What time did you get home last night?" I'd say, "Oh, about 1 o'clock, 1 a.m." It was 4, but
Yeah, I know exactly, mate.
imagine
What time do you go to bed? Because we got a camera in the hallway upstairs that only goes on after like midnight. So I thought, what time do you go to bed? Oh, 11:30, mate. Try 1:30.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, is this Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, no, you can't get around it, mate. You can't get around it. I've used this myself, actually. Years ago, my daughter, what time do you get home? And she goes, about midnight. I said, how come it's 3 a.m. on the camera then? Someone came through the front door. There's no escaping now.
Not from the Two Blokes Talking Tech.
That's it.
Anyway, if you're an Arlo owner and you haven't tried Arlo Secure, now's the time to give it a crack. If you've got Arlo Secure, log in, just switch to the right plan and make sure you're getting the best value from your Arlo Secure subscription, because person recognition, vehicle recognition and custom detection or custom recognition are available
Custom
now.
notification.
I think it's called something else.
Okay.
I'll just help me by looking at that.
Custom. It's custom. It's customization.
Yeah, custom. Good times.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Well, it is iPhone week. New iPhones go on sale this Friday. We're recording this on a Wednesday, so in a couple of days' time, September 20.
You're hearing this on Thursday. They go on sale tomorrow.
New iPhones.
Remember we released this on a Thursday at 5 o'clock?
Yeah, I know. I've been out of whack for 6 weeks, mate. Give me a break. This week, new iPhone, September 20. So you got the iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Plus, 16 Pro, 16 Pro Max, and 2 new features, the camera control and the other big feature, Apple Intelligence, although technically not really going to apply to Australians till December.
Compatible with Apple Intelligence. It's a bit annoying because all the billboards say iPhone 16 and then Apple Intelligence. The Apple website lists Apple Intelligence with the little logo on when you pre-order page. Look, I'm not going down the path of Elon Musk, but it's at the moment it's like Elon Musk with self-driving. It's something they'll sell you, but it's not available.
Yeah.
But the good news is I've seen this. I've tested this. I know Apple Intelligence is coming and works.
Yeah.
It is coming, and December is when it'll be available in Australian English. And the little tidbit, if you watch the keynote closely, and I think we mentioned this last week, was they said it's coming to all regions in US English in October. So if you desperately want it, you can change your language and get it next month.
You've got to start talking like an American, is that right?
Yeah, no, it changes a lot of things on the phone. I wouldn't recommend doing it personally. I regret having done it.
Yeah.
But
I think
it's an interesting one because for me and what I've said about this is, look, this is the most compelling update in a long time.
Yeah.
And there will be people who say, it looks the same as last year when Apple's lost their innovation. You know them. You know the people. And that's exactly what you sound like, you bloody idiots on the internet.
I know
it's such a stupid thing to say.
Yeah.
It's like the dimwit on news.com.au writing about the hidden apps, right? And we'll talk about iOS 18 later.
But they did that. They did that at DubDub. That was the headline. Cheating spouses can now hide apps.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's been able to do it on Samsung for years.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not a story.
Yeah.
The point is, it's compelling because it's the first time that if you're interested in Apple Intelligence, if you own an iPhone 15 Pro, you're good. Keep it.
Yeah.
You're happy.
Pro
but
Max,
if you own a 15, 14 of any variant, 13 of any variant,
you're out of luck.
You're out of luck, and this is the device to get.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you this.
Do you think this is going to move people? This is going to move people to go for it. Is Apple Intelligence that attractive? That
I think we won't see it early, but once
Yeah.
examples of Apple Intelligence start to really show their head, it's going to move the needle.
Yeah.
I think, here's what I think. I think Q1 2025 sales of iPhone will be the strongest they've had in years because people will see it and want it. They'll say, what have you got? That's amazing, you know?
Yeah.
I do think that will help. And look, I just think that you've got to understand that Inside Baseball, the reviewer's guide for the iPhone 16 that we get sent, so it's basically a refresher on all the features, has a whole page dedicated to what's different between or what features exist on the 16 that don't exist on the 13, which is Apple's way of inherently saying 3 years is the cycle here for people.
Yeah. Okay.
People should see that this is a huge leap forward from the 13. I think 12 and backwards is an unbelievably great leap forward for this device. Yeah. I think 13 is borderline, but well worth it. 14 only if you're desperate for Apple Intelligence.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. A lot of people might. I think we said this last week that they may bring forward their update. A lot of people might wait 3-4 years.
The trade-in deals are epic.
Yeah, well, I think that's another case
Vodafone
too.
have got a $0 deal, which I fully don't understand. But basically,
3-year contract.
You trade in, they give you a credit for your $79 plan, and you're only just paying the plan off. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be looking at that alternative to upgrade from potentially a 14 or even a 15. The 15 and 15 plus, because even though you bought them a year ago,
they're not compatible.
You're
with
not going to get Apple Intelligence.
No.
So there's and during the keynote and during the announcement, Tim Cook specified a few times that this was built from the ground up with AI, Apple Intelligence at its heart. Yeah, which it was because they've got the processor and all that. So. It's going to be that killer feature that a lot of people are going to want to have on their device, realizing when they realize that, oh, hang on a minute, I can't get it unless I've got these types of devices, which like Apple kind of gives with one hand but takes with another. Like this year, the iPhone, yes, you need the processing power for Apple Intelligence, but other products like Apple Watch and AirPods, you get these cool features just with a software upgrade.
That's true, yeah.
So they're sort of they're balancing it a little bit.
And look, I'll give them credit too. The iPhone 16 Pro, which is the 6.3, which is a massive screen. 6.9 inch on the Pro Max is wild.
Giddy up.
But the Pro has, it's the same phone, just different screen, different battery. We've gone back to the fact that the two Pros are the same. Yes. I respect that because I want the 5x zoom. Yeah. I want the 5x zoom, but I don't want the bigger phone. Yep. And mate, the camera control button, so action button on the 16 and 16 Plus, the camera control button, it works well. Like you're in lock mode, you push the button and the camera launches, right? Yep. Push it again and you've taken a photo. Yep. And that kind of, no one predicted this. No one predicted this kind of weird touch sensitive, half push, slide, you know. It's pretty cool.
And how long it takes a little while to get used to that, or is it intuitive enough?
I've found like at the hands-on, I didn't understand. I'm like, what am I pressing? How do I get to the other settings? But now I've basically gotten to a point where you know how much to push it to do a Because when you got a digital camera and you kind of half push it, you don't push all. It's kind of like that, but different. And, it's a single press to bring up the zoom and a double press to bring up the other features and a double press to go back to zoom. But there is no way to get out of zoom. You have to wait for it to disappear. But you realise I don't need to disappear. I can just take the photo. Yeah. I'm good to go.
Have you taken a photo by mistake, pressing the camera?
I believe that I did take one like in a pocket. I believe I did recently.
Okay.
Or I turned it on and pulled the phone out. I'm like, oh, the bloody camera's on.
Yeah. But is that an issue? You think it could? You
I
might be pocket photos?
I predict stories like that.
Yeah.
I do. I don't think it's an issue, but I predict plenty of clickbait that suggests that it is.
What about if you wanted to pull your phone out and take a quick photo? Does it make taking the photo faster or is it the same as before?
Oh, I just took a photo.
Okay.
Like,
it's not my better side, mate.
well, okay, let's think about this, right? So, okay, it's like a quick draw, okay? So I'm picking up the phone, I'm clicking the button, and then I'm clicking it again.
Right.
Did that take the photo? No, I had to click twice there. I had to kind of wait a second.
Whereas I can just go like this.
Hang on, let's time it. Ready?
Okay, hang on. I'm going to go from the lock screen.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so it's locked.
Yep.
Put it down, upside down on the table.
Okay, quick draw. Boom.
Okay, ready?
So, but just to be clear, I got the 15 Pro Max. You got the 16 Pro.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, you ready?
Okay, go.
Let's go. Oh, jeez. Oh, no, I've bummed it. I was taking a photo.
Oh, I didn't know. I swiped left instead of going.
Okay, we'll try it again. Can't you just push?
I was trying to. Yeah. Trying to.
Okay, try again. One more time. I win the first round.
Hang on, mate.
We're going to lock your phone. What's wrong? You're trying to work out how it works?
No. I know how it works. I pressed it wrong last time.
Okay. You ready?
Okay, go.
Oh, go. I've taken the photo.
I took a photo too.
Yeah, I think I beat you.
I took a photo as your flash was going off. So who wins that one?
Me.
Well, I think it's a draw. I think it's a tie. So you were using camera control. I was using the lock screen shortcut.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a really good.
So it doesn't take longer to take your photo.
But as I said, the real example of this is this. For right-handers.
For selfies, yeah.
Look at that. It's just perfectly placed
right.
for a thumb selfie.
So
because for you, you've got to reach out and use your finger or reach up to hit the volume buttons.
I just use my finger, mate.
Yeah, but it's an awkward.
I had plenty of practice in Europe, I've got to tell you.
Yeah, mate. Take a photo with that. With your thumb on that. Yeah, see, you've got too big a hands for that. Yeah. You need the Pro Max.
Boom.
See?
You smiling?
I don't know.
Oh, it was a portrait. You're blurred.
Oh, great. Well done.
Portrait mode. So that's another thing too. When you use camera control, right? What does it put you in a normal photo mode, or does it put you in portrait mode?
Well, you choose. You still choose your mode.
So whatever you used last time is what happens. I think whatever happens
it
last
launches
time.
in photo mode every time, and then you can manually choose. If you double click, you can go across and choose the camera.
Right. So I've got it in portrait mode now.
Right.
I'm going to lock the phone.
Yep.
Right. I'm going to unlock the phone. Go. It's still in portrait.
Yeah, but
mode.
that's just unlocking to the same app.
Okay.
Lock the phone and open the camera app.
Okay. So.
No. Open the camera app from the
lock screen. Okay.
This is great radio.
Still
portrait.
In portrait
okay,
mode.
well let's test that here. Okay, I'm in portrait mode here.
Yep.
Portrait mode. That's the power button, you idiot. Portrait mode.
Yep.
Take a photo.
Yep.
Now I'll close.
Yep.
And I'll open the camera again with the camera control button. Still in portrait mode.
There you go. Yeah. So it remembers the last mode. But I think after a certain time, it just reverts back to normal photo.
I think in reality,
I should sit next to the microphone when I'm talking.
I think in part it's a gimmick. I do. Not as much a gimmick as the action button.
Yeah.
Because 99.9% of people use that for silence, which was already there. But I think when you realise how other apps can use it, so the Snapchat, I don't think it's live yet. I don't think they've integrated it yet, but Snapchat is introducing it so that you can take a photo and choose its destination. Is it going into your feed or to a particular person? Those kind of things are pretty cool. I thought I'd installed Snapchat on here.
Can other developers use it for non-camera features? What's to say?
That's a great question.
You can't just use it as to scroll through stuff, because you think of where it is, right? Imagine you can just go out and just scroll down a website without touching the screen. Could you? Is that possible?
I like that.
Or is it just strictly for camera only?
Well, I was just testing the Snapchat, right, and it's not available there yet. But what's interesting is when you're in another app, the kind of half press does nothing. So there's it's
what a waste. Don't you reckon that's being able to slide up and down?
Here's my prediction. I don't think Apple will let anyone use it for anything that isn't camera related.
You reckon?
Because it's the camera control button.
Well,
but anyone with a
camera,
camera,
change it to the control button.
Anyone who uses a camera in any way in their app, they'll use the control button.
And so Snapchat's first off the mark with that.
That's the only one we've seen thus far.
Instagram will follow, won't they? Instagram and
you'd think so, yeah,
mate, they'd have to.
You'd think so.
TikTok as well.
Yeah.
They do something to do it.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
I'd be interested in if developers can use it for other purposes.
No way. I'm almost convinced of it.
You reckon? Why limit them?
Because it's called the camera control button. We're Apple.
Yeah. It might be just called the
Don't
control
argue
button.
with us.
It might be just called the control button.
It's not. It's called the camera control button.
At the moment,
you think in the future?
At the moment it is, but down the track it might just be the control button. I reckon WWDC 2025, they might go, and now we've opened this control to developers to use. And mate, I reckon where it's positioned it's perfect for some applications. Like, mate, just scrolling, if you hold your phone, because it's sort of not quite at the bottom of your phone, isn't it? So you think of this, right? So where I'm holding it right now, which is a comfortable position, if I'm looking at a website, so rather than me having to do this, I can just be doing that, scrolling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I don't mind it. I'm just saying I don't think they'll do it.
Yeah, not now. I reckon down the track. Why limit? It'll become like the action button where you can customize it, I reckon, down the track.
Yeah, right.
That's my suggestion. Anyway,
Maybe.
Apple, whether you choose to listen to me, that's up to you.
Yeah. Although also, by the way, side note, shout out to EFTM podcast listeners. There was a caller this week who mentioned you.
Oh.
I think it might have been Rod. But anyway, he at the start of the call, I'm sure he mentioned, something about the Two Blokes. And I know Stephen French loves it. And I just lost my mind. Because I don't think he intentionally referencing the Apple event, but I think he just stuffed up your name. But I laughed so much.
Nice one, Smarty.
Oh.
Whenever people, it's not uncommon. People see my name, they see an F, they see an N, a C, and a H.
Yeah.
And their brain makes a decision that it's French.
Yeah.
And my response is there's no R in my name.
Right.
And they go, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Fennick.
Yeah.
So,
But your name starts with S, so you owe me Lego, according to Victoria.
Yeah.
Victoria, I go in the lounge room. She goes, do you know anyone whose name starts with S? I went, Sarah. She goes, but you know a Sarah? I went, no. She goes, I got a video here. Someone whose name starts with S owes you Lego. I said, oh, Stephen, send it to me.
Boom. So
you said you're going to send me
you a
Star Wars Lego. And I said,
and you went hell no, or Jesus no, I think is where
I don't know what I said.
Trevor blasphemed in his
I may have. Yeah, I may have. Two Blokes Talking Tech. Details of the iPhone up at EFTM.com, techguide.com.au. It's everywhere, folks. iPhone 16 week.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Two Blokes Talking Tech is proudly supported by Arlo. We've already spoken about the amazing Arlo Secure 5, but you know what? To make use of Arlo Secure 5, you need to have the cameras in the first place. So do yourself a favour, and if you haven't, if you want to get Secure 5, it's a great subscription service, then you need some cameras to use it with. And you can start for as little as $159 to get started. So the Essential 2K camera, wireless security camera, you can use it indoors and out. Great place to start. There's also the Essential Indoor 2K camera. That's only $129. That's the one you got inside that works only after midnight.
That's right. Yeah. I have that upstairs with the privacy shield.
It's got the privacy shield, so during the day, privacy shield's on. You're not being filmed. Nighttime, it's open slather. But there's also the video doorbell, the video doorbell 2K, which acts like a security camera as well. But it also allows you to answer your door. Whenever someone presses your doorbell, it's like you're getting a video call. You can talk to the person at your front door like you're making a phone call.
Jibber jabber.
Really easy. Trevor and I use that a lot, talking to couriers and people delivering products to us.
Yes.
And I'm going to record myself. Just leave it at the front door, please. That's my most common
which
response.
Is also a standard response you can use.
There's already it's already a pre-recorded.
That's right. Leave the parcel
like
at
an
the door.
answering machine reply. But there's also another favourite of mine is the floodlight camera. Floodlight camera, it really lights up the yard. If you want to, you can make it motion sensitive. So, boom, someone's walking in your front yard, and you can see everything.
Love it.
As I said before, you can shoot a Hollywood movie with the brightness of that light. It's awesome. Check it all out at arlo.com.
Everything about tech you never wanted to know. This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Some news from Hisense in the last week. They've announced their Canvas TV range is coming to Australia now. I've seen this at IFA for a couple of years, to be honest.
Yep.
And
From
it's-
Hisense.
Yes, from
So
Hisense.
it's been touted.
It's been around and it's probably available in other markets. But let's be real. This is a direct response to Samsung's The Frame, which is a highly successful product.
Been around for a while too.
Retailers love it.
Yes.
It's the idea that you've got this television with a slightly different finish, like a matte finish.
Customers love it too.
And it shows artwork when the TV's not on. Now, a Hisense, our 100-inch Hisense shows art. Vita art is what it's called.
Yep.
When it's when it's just been sat idle for too long.
Yep.
Like the kids have turned off the Xbox but not the TV. It'll switch to Vita art.
Ooh.
And this is essentially an extension of that by bringing you a TV that has just a slightly different finish to it. A high matte anti-glare finish is what they call it. And it makes artwork pop, but it still makes television viewing
because the
beautiful.
frame's matte screen, isn't it? Too. The frame doesn't have a glossy
That's right,
screen.
yes.
It's matte. Yeah.
For the last couple of years,
That's
it has
important. The art mode
now,
with the matte screen.
it comes by default with a teak frame.
Right.
But then what you do is you go online and you register your product and you get to choose a free white or walnut.
Wow.
So I think that's a smart CMS move, right? It's like the Samsung ones, magnetically attaches. That they want a database of customers. Of
course.
And so
teak on
teak
just by default.
And then you sign up and they'll send you whichever other one you want.
Which other ones? White and black.
And walnut.
White walnut.
Which is a darker. It's like the neck of your frame.
Yeah, nice.
The darker wood.
Okay, yeah, I see.
Now, price-wise, the 55 inches, $1,800. The 65 inches, $2,299.
Which isn't bad, I think.
It's about $100 less than Samsung.
Right.
So,
but they don't. But the Samsung, you can get a frame up to 85-inch back. Can't
also, these are RRPs, so I think you'll see the Hisense fluctuate probably a bit under that.
But they're the only two sizes, 55 and 65 for the Hisense, whereas Samsung has up to 85 inches.
And as low as 43 or something like that.
That's
so,
right.
But that's also Samsung tested the market early with only a couple of sizes. Hisense is doing the same thing. They've got to build a market first. So good on them, nice product, and well worth the look if you're looking for that big black box on the wall to be something else. Check out the Hisense Canvas TV.
Good name. I like that name.
Yeah, no.
Canvas.
Well, you've got to come up with something other than frame, don't you?
Of course.
And I don't think Art TV
frame
works
taken.
well.
Yeah, Art TV, no.
No.
Canvas.
Canvas
like
TV.
it. Like
Nailed it, Hisense.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.
Well, we mentioned earlier that it's iPhone week, also new Apple Watch coming out, new AirPods, new Apple Watch Ultra 2 as well.
Yep.
Plenty of new product. But you know what? If you're an existing Apple customer, you've got a Mac, iPhone, Apple Watch, Apple TV, Vision Pro, software updates. Hello, major updates this week now available. So if you're not getting a new phone, I love to say you can still get the new iPhone feeling with an update to iOS 18.
And it is a big update.
Yeah, it is huge. Well, if you're a Pro customer, 15 Pro, 15 Pro Max, that's how you can get Apple Intelligence by updating to iOS 18. So December is going to come on. It'll be working. But even too, we spoke about features on WatchOS 11. So the sleep apnea is subject to approval, but you can still check your breathing irregularities with the accelerometer on board as well. And we haven't got the AirPods update yet for the AirPods Pro 2. That's coming later this year. But
the hearing won't come either until TGA approval.
If you've got Mac OS Sequoia is also available. And,
iPhone mirroring.
Yeah, that's the feature that I was going to talk about. But that's one of many, and you can now do lock different tiles in and divide your screen. The mirroring is also a great feature. But going back to iOS 18, apart from Apple Intelligence and a few other features. I know you can customize your screen and customize your apps and various things like that.
Yeah, so my apps are now arranged quite weirdly on the screen just to kind of prove that you can put them anywhere.
Yeah, you don't have to snap them into a grid.
Right.
Yeah. And you can do that because I love the examples they use where you might have a lovely photo and you don't want to crowd the photo with the apps. So you can put them on either side so that your photo still comes through. Do you like that? Is that what you do? Or?
It's a little bit. Look, I'm not I don't use it a lot, but
the customization.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's not a deal breaker for me.
There's lots of other features. I just want to go through a couple here, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
I know we've talked about customization. There's also the updated control center, which you can.
It's hard to get used to.
Hey, I sometimes go, hang on, I've got to go back up here, because normally just one swipe is your control center. Now one big swipe takes you to page 4. So that takes a bit of getting used to. Now here's one that you reacted to online yesterday, and it did happen during the Worldwide Developers Conference. Is the ability to hide an app?
Yeah.
Now the headlines immediately were, oh, this is ways for spouses to cheat on their partners. They can hide Tinder and all these apps. But that's not always the case. And as you mentioned earlier, you could do that on other phones anyway, but that didn't seem to be an issue with them.
I've hidden my ANZ Shield app, which is the app you need to get a code in case you want to transfer money. Look, if I hand you my phone and you happen to be in my bank and you open that app, I don't want you. I want multiple Face IDs to get to that app. That's what I want.
There you go.
If I had my Withings app, I'd protect that too.
Yeah, so
I don't want people to know how much I weigh.
Yeah, your health app is as well. I think there was a good example that someone gave at Apple where there was someone handed their phone to someone and they saw an app to do with tracking your cycles and pregnancy, and they go, "Oh, are you pregnant?"
That's a much better example.
Are you pregnant?
Yeah.
Oh my God! And they went, "Oh, yeah." So you'd want to hide that too. So it's not just look. Yeah, some people will put Tinder in there and do what they want.
I don't want to
right?
break it to you.
Yeah.
iOS 18 isn't going to ruin your marriage.
No.
You being an idiot and sleeping around is going to ruin your marriage.
That's true. It's not guns don't kill people. People kill people. Is what they say in America anyway. But you're right. It is. Look, it's subject to proper usage, I guess, if you want to do it that way.
Yeah.
We're viewing a couple of examples on how you can use
Yes.
it. Moving on to, we've already mentioned iPad OS 18, the calculator. How cool is that? You know, we can write, you can
math
write your
notes.
Kids will love that one in
Mate,
school,
my kids are loving it. Yeah.
In macOS Sequoia, iPhone mirroring, awesome. Safari's had an update as well. Better video conferencing as well. So FaceTime and Zoom, you can now you can have better backgrounds and all that as well. Now onto Watch OS, you're going to have now the training load, and I know you're going to be using that. The Vitals app, but also too. The Translate app now is on Watch OS, so a little bit easier to access. Vision, have you updated your Vision Vision Pro? Have you used your Vision Pro?
I don't know where it is. It's over there.
I used mine the other day. I was tempted to take it with me to Europe.
I'm glad you didn't.
And I thought, it's too big. It was too big. It
a
would take
lot of
half
space.
a bag. And I'm glad I did it. But anyway, I was I have been using it though since I've been back. Just for the record, I have been using it, and I am planning to update it.
Just for the record, I haven't used it since I did my review.
I am going to use it I'm going to update it to Vision OS 2 because I quite enjoyed working on my
I
my
can
MacBook.
multi-screen live sports in Australia on KO or Stan or whatever, I'm all in.
Let's do that. The other new feature is you can now, if you're working with your Mac or your laptop, you can see the keyboard. You can see the physical keyboard. So if you look down and you can actually see the keyboard in your Vision as well, which is so if it helps promote the fact that you might want to use the Vision Pro to give you the massive screen, but you still can see your physical keyboard as well. So lots of interesting features. So
Lots of updates.
if you want to, it has unlocked a lot of cool features, and it's just a software update. So you don't have to buy a new product. In some cases, you do need, for Apple Intelligence, you do need a new product. But in the other instances, it is just the software update.
All of them available now, and some of the big stuff still to come with TGA approval of like the sleep apnea and the hearing test.
aid.
But it's going to be groundbreaking when they do. All right, that's a wrap of your first show back properly, and in the chair. Everything okay with the chair?
Yeah, it's all good.
Everything okay with the chair?
Fine, yeah, mate. Why? What did you do to it?
No, nothing. Val made some comments.
About what?
About the size of the chair to fill.
It was just way too big for him, was it?
Yeah.
Mate, it's just chair. Chair's a chair. Is it? They don't come in sizes, do they?
I'm glad you're back because I felt big compared to Val.
Big compared to Val.
I'm a larger unit.
Yeah, Val's very slight.
We're equivalent units.
Yeah, we're big
He's
units.
a bit slight.
We're big units, yeah.
And I felt bigger than normal.
So the balance was a little bit out of whack.
The force was out on this one. You know what I'm saying?
I understand, mate. I understand. I'm glad I make you feel better about yourself. Anyway, that's good.
Good to have you back. See you next week.
Good to be back, mate.
Okay.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.